the basic elements of geometry. There are three basic elements in geometry: a point, a line, and a plane. A point is represented by a dot, and we write a capital letter A. Same is, when we want a line to be drawn, we draw a straight line with arrow mark on both the ends, and line, we name it by letter L. Now what is a plane? Plane is a flat surface. Any flat surface will be termed as plane. We represent plane in this way. This is plane H. This plane extends on all the four directions. So we need a plane, and on this plane we will try to draw a point. We want to draw a line, we draw a line on it. Like line which extends on both the sides, plane also extends on all four directions. Plane is to be named. We write plane H, plane P. Axioms. What are axioms? There are some simple properties which we accept as true are called as axioms. These properties is no need of proving them. It's a truth. It's a fact in geometry. Logically, we'll understand why they are known as axioms. And we cannot challenge these statements. Such statements of geometry are known as axioms. Meaning of one and only one. There are certain language what is used that has to be clear. The point has to be clear. One shows this one. One shows existence. There is one shows existence. At least one means one or more. There's a chance that there will be one and there will be more than one. If I use a word at least one means one and only one. The term one and only one means exactly one. Or we call it uniqueness. It means there will be only one element and there cannot be more than one. The first axiom. It said that an infinite number of lines can be drawn through a given point. So what does it mean? We can draw infinite number of lines through a given point. It means we have a point. Passing through this point, this is the first line, this is second line, third line, fourth line. We can draw like this infinite number of lines passing through given point P. You can name it line L1, L2, L3, L4, L5. Like this, we can see, given a point, we can draw infinite number of lines passing through it. The second axiom. The second axiom tells there is one and only one. Look at this wording. There is one and only one line passing through two distinct points. The wording again, there is one and only one line passing through two distinct points. What does this two distinct point mean? We have two separate points, point A, point B. Given these 2 points, how many lines can be drawn? How many lines can be drawn? We can draw only one line passing through both these particular points. Suppose line L. We cannot have one more line passing through them. So these are the two distinct points, and we can draw only one and only one line passing through two distinct means separate points. Axiom number 3. When two distinct lines, is the wording, two distinct lines. Two distinct means two separate lines intersect. The intersection is exactly one point. What does this mean? When two distinct lines intersect, the intersection is exactly one point. It means we have two lines, line L1, line L2. When they intersect, the intersection gives rise to a point. This is point P. It means the intersection is exactly one point. Now, when we tell two distinct means two separate lines, intersection gives rise to a point. Now it cannot be this way. We have a line L and line L1 and one more line intersecting it. In this case you will tell we have got infinite number of points, correct? But this cannot be a possibility. This is not a logical thinking. If you think logically, these are the two lines which are said to be a straight line, because here this line what I have drawn, it cannot be a line, it cannot be defined as a line. So this is only possible factor. So it is said as line L1 and line L2. When they intersect, the intersection gives rise to one and only one point. Axiom number 4. There is exactly one plane passing through three non-collinear points. Now comes the word non-collinear. Now what does this particular point non-collinear mean? Suppose we have points in this pattern A, B and C. These points are said to be non-collinear. Why it is said to be non-collinear? We cannot draw a single line containing all of them. If I try to draw a line passing through B and C, A lies outside it. If I try to draw a line passing through A and B, C lies outside it. The same case, if I try to draw a line passing through A and C, B lies outside it. Therefore, points A, B and C are said to be non-collinear points. If I am having three non-collinear points, what is given here, there is exactly one plane passing through them. That means there is a plane which contains my three non-collinear points. Now this is the only plane which can contain points A, B and C. This plane we can represent by name H. It means that plane H contains points A, B and C, and this is exactly one, that is one and only one plane which will contain all these three non-collinear points. Axiom number 5. That is exactly one plane. Look at the wordings. There is exactly one plane passing through a line and a point not on it. What does it mean? Passing through a line and a point not on it means we have a line L, we have a point A which does not lie on line L. In this case, we will have exactly a plane passing through it. And the plane we can represent in this pattern. There's a plane H which contains line L, and point A which does not lie on the line. So we will have only one plane which will contain both of them. That's what the axiom tells. There exists exactly one plane passing through a line and a point not on the line. Axiom number 6. There is exactly one plane. There is exactly one plane passing through two distinct intersecting lines. The wording tells there is exactly one plane passing through two distinct intersecting lines. What does it mean? First of all, we should know what is two distinct intersecting lines. So this line L1 and L2 are two distinct intersecting lines. Now the statement tells there is exactly one plane. That means the plane should include both line L1 and L2. So how many planes will be there? There will be exactly one plane. So my plane which will contain both the lines will be plane H. So plane H is the only plane which will consist two distinct intersecting lines. Axiom number 7. When two planes intersect, the wording is when two planes intersect, the intersection is exactly a line. Here plural things are there. When two planes intersect, the intersection is exactly a line. Exactly one line. What does it mean? We will have one plane, plane H. Now this plane intersects with one more plane. Plane P. The intersection of two planes gives rise to one line. Did you get? Now we are having two planes, plane H and plane P. Both of them are intersecting. Because of the intersection, one line is formed, and that is line L. So two planes intersecting gives rise to exactly one line. Axiom number 8. When a line intersects a plane but does not lie in it, then the intersection is a point. Look at the wording. When a line intersects a plane but does not lie in it, then the intersection is a point. Now we have a plane H. There is a line which does not lie in it. The line does not lie on this plane. Imagine there is a line which comes from space. It intersects, enters and comes out from behind. This is my line L. This is the line which does not lie in it. When a plane and a line which does not lie in it intersects, the intersection gives rise to a point. Suppose point P. This is what this axiom tells. Axiom number 9. A line containing two given points of a plane. So what does it mean? A line containing two given points of a plane. That means we have a plane. There are 2 points on the plane. Point A, point B. A line which containing 2 given points. These are the 2 points of a plane H. Now I want a line which should contain both these particular points. So I'll draw a line which contains both these particular points. Since these points are on plane H, in that case, line L which contains both this particular point must also lie on plane H. So look at the wording. A line containing 2 given points of a plane H. So my points A and B are the points of plane H. And a line is containing them. In that case, the line L will entirely lie on this particular plane. Axiom number 10. If the lines lie, if the lines lie in the same plane, then they are called coplanar lines. So here we are trying to explain what does coplanar line means. Otherwise, they are called non-coplanar lines. So again, if the lines lie in the same plane, then they are called coplanar lines. So suppose we have a plane P. We have few lines, line L, line S, line T. All these lines lie in the same plane P. Then these lines will be known as coplanar lines. On the other hand, suppose we have a plane in this form. Here, the lines are line L, line M, line T. Here we see, none of these particular lines are lying on the same plane. They are lying in different planes. Since they are lying in different planes, we can't call them coplanar lines. We will term them non-coplanar lines. It means if the lines do not lie in the same plane, they are known as non-coplanar lines. Whereas if the lines are lying in the same plane, we will call them coplanar lines. If you like the video, you might have seen this is how we teach in Shree Mukambika tutorials. If interested, admissions are open for the next academic year. Thank you.